Folly. They on Folly.
Pow, pow.
They on Folly.
Them Yam Street boys.
They on Folly. They on Folly.
Pow, pow.
They on Folly.
Them TOS boys.
They on Folly. They on Folly.
Pow, pow.
They on Folly.
I say them L Station boys.
They on Folly. They on Folly.
Pow, pow.
They on Folly.
Bitch, I'm a EBK boy, yeah, we created Folly. The definition of folly is 30 couples and parties and gang ways with shotties, ready to catch a body on dummy with anybody, me, Frenchie, Okie, and Molly.
Call halal la Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rachak Wadash, double honors unto the apostle, great millstone, peace and blessings unto the elect. Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. Again, Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity, all right, meaning held in high regard, esteemed, all right, pushed as the way to be. And the rich sit in a low place, all right. As you see, I just played a little clip in which they were saying they on Folly, in which I believe it's a relatively old video. I believe they was talking about a street, all right, but nonetheless, I found it, interesting that they saying it was on Folly. And the majority of our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, 2/3, they are on Folly, all right. They're on edge. They don't have the true names of our God, all right. It's been hidden from them in the way of the world. It's been pushed onto them, and they esteem it, all right, and they enact it and live by it. In the ways of the world is folly, is foolishness, all right? It's without wisdom, without fear of the Lord, all right? Without the reverence of the one and true only God, Yahweh Bashmal, shine his way. But nonetheless, let me grab a quick precept before I go on. This is Proverbs 17 and verse 12. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. Again, Proverbs 17 and 12. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. Right, so the scriptures tell us to go not in the path of unrighteous men, all right, or wicked men. Let's go to Proverbs 1 real quick. All right, that's why the world tells us to be separate. Now, we're in the, we're in the world, but not of the world. We have to deal amongst them. You don't be a recluse, all right? Of course, we don't hang out with these people, all right? But, judgment is going out. Zechariah, 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter. The Lord's bringing his judgment out, and these are the individuals he's used. The scriptures say, thy sons lie at the street at the head of every corner like wild bulls in the net. So these are people that the Lord uses to judge, and they get judged also. But nonetheless, we are the rich, and I'm going to touch on that. Lord willing, we are the rich, and we're sitting in a low place. We're rich because why? Lord willing, we've been given the fear of the Lord, the faith, the spiritual gifts, all right, the knowledge of the kingdom, which is about to be, all right, which is about to be established upon earth, all right. So let me go here real quick. This is Proverbs 1 and 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privily or privately for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. Right, so let's hit a lick. We're going to do this, bro. We're gonna come up. And this is the mindset of the majority of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. The job I deal with, I see, young Jake skipping school, riding around, and it's bullshit, man. All right? It's bullshit, total bullshit. And ultimately, this way leads to death. All right? Repenting, all right, is the way to go. Believing on Yahweh Shai, all right? Believing on Yahweh Bashmal Shai, all right? Turning to this gospel, all right? And living and conducting ourselves in a righteous manner, all right? It's the best choice for the Israelites, all right? and to suffer for righteousness' sake. Proverbs 1 and 14 again. Casting thy lot among us, let us all have one purse. All right? So we'll all get paid. This is a evil plot or scheme. All right? And, young Jake, I'm a young man. We used to do shit. Like, shit is off. All right? And we were in darkness. All right? But those guys on the video on another level. I wasn't toting gun. Jake is toting gun. They're all the way in it. All right? And a lot of these guys, they're put on earth to do that. That was their whole story when Pookie and Ray Ray died at 21 because they were robbing, they were killing, they were taking. All right? So, they found their judgment. You see? This is Proverbs 1 in verse, let me see, 15. It says, my son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path. Right? So when you see a group of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans standing around downtown, smoking kush, or, gather together, you're out and about, you go to a venue and they all in there smoking, drinking with the loud rap, you turn out the way. All right? Refrain thy foot from their path. That's what the scripture's saying. All right? Proverbs 1 and 16, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. All right? Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. Right? So why? Because Yahweh Shema Shai is going to be the one to repay them back for whatever they do in the earth. All right? The living, omnipotent God, Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's who we're telling our people about. And that's who we're telling them is about to bring this evil of Jacob's trouble, the martial law, hour of temptation, etc. Nonetheless, back in Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 5. All right, Salakia, Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. So who is the rich? Well, the rich is those that Yahweh Shema Shai has quickened, calling to the knowledge revealed unto them the kingdom of heaven, what awaits for the suffering, all right, for bearing this cross, going out preaching and teaching, confessing the names. Let's go here. James 2 and verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High Yahweh chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs rich in faith? And faith is what? The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith in what? The kingdom of heaven, the rest, the deliverance, the new bodies, the new covenant, through Yahweh Shah, of course, the mediator. All right? It says, in heirs of the kingdom which he had promised to them that love him. If he love me, keep my commandments. All right? What does this word heir mean? A person legally entitled to the property or rank of another on that person's death. A successor, right? So on the death of Yahweh Shah, the elect remnant, started with the prophets, every man in their order, all right, is set to rule in the kingdom of come, which is to be placed upon earth through the death of Yahweh Shai, all right? But that's the rich. This is Revelation 2 and 9. The rich is not the riches of this world. It's the riches of faith and spiritual gifts. All right, let's go here real quick. That's what I want to get. Bear with me. Bear with me. Rich, this is the word rich in AV 1611. All right, so yes, it can mean carnal riches, goods, crops, linen, fruit, what the earth is yielding to you and you receive. But we're speaking as in the spiritual sense. That's why scripture says, store up your treasures in heaven. All right, riches. This is the word rich. It says, I read up. 17, it says, containing abundance beyond wants as a rich treasury. Right, what the scriptures talk about a man that have found a gift, all right, found a treasure, Sell all that he have. Let me grab that. The Wadi Haba Shemel shot. Bear with me. Matthew 13. Let's finish it. 18. 19. In scripture, abounding, highly endowed with spiritual gifts, as rich in faith. Right. And this is going to lead, Lord willing, to, everlasting life. Right. Ruling, having dominion over the heathen, being forever righteous toward our power dwelling amongst us. All right. This is the true riches. All right. Because it holds true value. The value of this world, the riches of the world, it's not going to save us from Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. All right. You can't take it into the next world. All right. You're still in the corruptible body with these possessions. You see, but people don't look at it as that. They see YOLO. All right. And to hell with y'all talking about believing that faith is nothing to us. All right. Speaking about the mindset of unbelievers, verse 21, it says, rich in mercy, spoken of the Most High, full of mercy, and ready to bestow good things on sinful men. Ephesians 2, Romans 10. All right. So, right. Point was 17. All right. The riches of the Most High. All right. His fullness of wisdom, power, mercy, grace, and glory, or the abundance supplied by his works. The riches of Mashiach, his abundant fullness of spiritual and eternal blessings for men. The riches of his state or kingdom consist less in a full treasury than in the productiveness of his soil and manufactures and in the industry of inhabitants. All right, so let's go to Matthew 13 and verse 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in a field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he have, and buyeth that field. And again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchantman seeking goodly pearls, who when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. And this is the riches that we have been gifted, and that the Lord willing we possess it. It's been given unto us, the fear, the faith, what's to come. All right, scripture say, let no man take thy crown. So this is the true wealth, all right, this knowledge. All right, scripture say the kingdom of heaven cometh not with observation. Lord, behold, the kingdom of heaven is within you. All right. Tobit 4. In verse 19. Bless the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, thy power always, and desire of him that thy ways may be directed, and that all thy paths and counsels may prosper. For every nation have not counsel, but the Lord himself giveth all good things. He humbleth whom he will, as he will. Now therefore, my son, remember my commandments, neither let them be put off thy mind. Now I signify this to thee, that I committed 10 talents to Gabriel, the son of Gabriel, at Regis at Media. Verse 21 was the point. Fear not, my son, that we are made poor. All right. For thou hast much wealth. If thou fear the Most High, Yahweh Bashmal Shai, and depart from all sin, and do that which is pleasing in his sight. So with that being said, with us having this talent, all right, or this treasure, all right, we're going to be the offscouring of the earth, the poor, so to speak. Now, you can have nice shit. You don't got to be dirt cheap. Scriptures talk about give me neither riches, all right, nor make me proud. Salaki, let me grab it. Give me neither riches nor poverty, but food convenient for me, lest I get too high and forget my power, or get too low and curse the Most High, all right? Proverbs 30:8, remove far from me vain lies, give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain, right? So we just want where we can work, man, and get the reward. We don't want to get too high or too low. All right. But nonetheless, that was it. I'll read it again. Tobit 4:21. Fear not, my son, that we are made poor, for thou hast much wealth. So how does that make sense? Well, wealth towards what? Towards the Most High, rich towards the Most High. We know the story of that man that built up houses, all right, and said, I'm going to tear down and build up more, all right? But he was not rich toward the Most High. It says, if thou fear the Most High and depart from all sin and do that which is pleasing in his sight. All right. It says, for thou hast much wealth if thou fear the Most High and depart from all sin and do that which is pleasing in his sight. All right. Revelation 2:9. Know thy works in thy tribulation and poverty. All right. This is Yahweh Shai, but thou art rich. How? All right. The kingdom of heaven, the faith. All right. Being quickened spiritually. Right. Walking the upright way. All right. And the fruits of that, Lord willing, if we endure, is going to lead to the kingdom and everlasting life if we were chosen to receive that reward. You see, Revelation 2:9, know thy works in thy tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. You see, so this goes that correlation, that contrast again, going into the lesson, man. Lord willing, you were edified and comforted and uplifted by this lesson. All praise and the glory goes into Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash Shalom.